Today on Megadads Live, we're discussing the mountain climbing survival game Cairn. We're getting back to Parent of the Month, and we're closing things out with a caboose recommendation for Godzilla Kaiju Wars VR. Now let's start the show.
I am chilling, as the kids would say. I am chilling. I've been putting that shedding thing that I talked on a previous episode of Megadads Live into play, which is like change your environment. You know, when you want to really like relax, take a shower or change your clothes or put on a nice comfy robe. This morning before Megadads Live started recording, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get cozy. I'm going to get comfy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have slippers or a robe or like, what is your comfort? Is it
I have a pair of Psyduck slippers that I got in Tokyo.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
It's that and a pair of pajama pants. You know, nothing fancy. You know me. I'm just
Do you wear underwear or do you like free ball?
I can't free ball. We've discussed this before. I can't free ball because
like,
my testicles they're like bungee jumping. You know, they're just
You don't moisturize your testicles?
I don't. You know, I think I need to treat my balls better.
Megadads Live is a mature-rated podcast. It's for the Megadads, the Mega Moms, but not the Mega Kids. So put on those earmuffs and let's go!
Yeah, I mean, you should be applying some ointment or something.
I think in general, I need to treat my genitalia better than the rest of me. Much like my car, I neglect my dick. I'm not good at upkeeping like a vehicle. I'm not good at upkeeping really anything. I kind of just wait for things to fall apart. You know what I mean?
No,
and
that
bring
makes
it in
sense.
for
You're
like
not changing your oil. You're not rotating the tires.
I just don't treat my dick with the respect that it deserves.
Yeah,
it's all overgrown. It's not moisturized.
You know the people who like use the vacuum all the time but never empty it?
Yeah, that's
you gotta maintain the equipment. I'd expect, you know how like wrinkles are bad, right?
Yeah.
So you should do something about the wrinkles. You should do something about, you know, I guess you have to pick the right undergarments to make sure you're secure, you know.
God, I haven't bought new underwear in probably 10 years.
You got to protect the nuggets. You know what I'm talking about? You can't just be dipping the nuggets everywhere.
I mean, the problem is that at this age, like, does anybody care? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's like the kid logic of why am I going to make my bed when I'm just going to make it messy tonight when I go to sleep, right? Like,
are you saying you've given up? Is that what we're getting at here?
I mean, he's listening. I don't want to make him feel bad.
You've given up. We've gotten some complaints lately, Adam, that we're too tame on this show. So I wanted to I'm glad we're opening it up with the kind of
with my dick,
with the genitalia talk.
I mean, what kind of oil should I be putting on that thing?
Castor oil.
Castor oil?
Yeah, baby oil.
Not motor oil.
Not
I don't want to mix up the car.
Oh Lord. oh no. No, I don't know.
I shouldn't run into Jiffy Lube and say, I just need you to do me up real quick.
Full disclaimer, because I don't want to get sued. Don't put anything on any oils on you. I mean, you could if you want to, but I'm not recommending it. Like, I'm not a medical professional.
The other thing is, like, when you think of oily, like, that just doesn't sound comfortable. Like, aren't you? Wouldn't like baby powder be better? Like,
oh yeah, sure, yeah.
You want it just soft. And,
see, I don't know. Like, does anybody ever talk to you in school or like, you know, about like, okay, here's what you're supposed to do to upkeep your nutsack. You know what I mean?
Talks about this.
Like, nobody sits you down and be like, okay, so like every 2 weeks, you know, you wanna. But I don't know.
The last time I heard anybody mention anything about junk care was a promo on the Nintendo Dads podcast. They were talking about like the fucking manscaping. Hearing Justin Masson talking about shaving his nuts. And at that point, I was just like, I can't do this anymore. Let's start out with something we haven't done in a very long time. And we're doing Parent of the Month.
I love Parent of the Month.
Parent of the Month. We haven't done this for so long. We've been rebooted in the new year. I want to get back to it. One of our favorite things right here. This story goes a little something like this. 15 years ago when I was in high school, we were coming out of school and there was a woman passing by with a 5-year-old boy. child seemed a bit overwhelmed by the crowds of people all surrounding him, and he went to grab his mother's hand. Mother would not hold his hand and instead started yelling at him. She said, "Don't you worry, baby. In about 10 years, all these girls will be dropping their panties for you." The poor kid looked so scared and confused. I've never forgotten the look on that kid's face. So disturbing to see. So there's a couple things to unpack here. First of all, there's the whole, not comforting your child in public, not, being a tough parent, buck up, like figure it out yourself kind of a thing. There's a nurture thing there. And then there's also the aspect of no mother should ever make any sort of comment about their child's sex life.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're going to get play in a few years. The kid's 5. Like, you're not going to, it's just weird. Yeah, it seems like maybe she might have had a child like early and like kind of puts that on him a little bit of like, it seems like an immature thing to say to your child out loud in public.
Well, the fact that he's like overwhelmed by the crowds and the people and he's a little scared, and her way of reassuring him is, "Don't worry, you'll get laid soon enough." Like that, those two things don't mesh.
The maths are not mathing. It's incredible, and this goes back to like just this idea of parents being awkward, and that's hard on kids because life is already hard enough, and awkwardness as a child is an amplified thing. Like now, if any awkward thing happens as an adult, you could just kind of like ignore it, shrug it off. You're mature enough to know how to sidestep and change the subject and just overlook it. Like you've developed those faculties. But as a kid, embarrassment, and it's your parent doing it, so you have like little control on how to stop it. This is just traumatic. So this kid is gonna have a low credit score. Like gonna buy used cars from buddies that don't run. Like they're gonna have a toaster where only one toast works. So they have to like wait double long because the other side of the toaster is broken. Like they're gonna
have a rough ride. But he's getting laid at 15, so.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be swimming in the puss, but he's also gonna have development issues in other areas because his mom called him out in public. Like, and why not hold the kid's hand? Okay, I've seen something in my life that I can't unsee, Adam.
Okay.
Have you seen parents get kids out of a car next to a street and they just turn their back and just like let the kid wander to the sidewalk? Or, like I've seen so many parents like walk down the street like a half block ahead of like, gotta be 4, gotta be 3-year-olds, and they walk ahead of the kids without like out of arm distance. Like in my mind, a kid or a pet like who's unleashed, like these are situations where you have to have a grip, just in case. A kid could just bolt like 1 foot in any direction and just get hit by a car or something. It drives me crazy. I see it all the time. It's everywhere. It's pervasive in the world. Parents just not looking after their kids, especially in their streets and shit like that.
I watched this like National Geographic documentary a while back of sea turtles, and they go and they lay their eggs on the beach, and then the eggs hatch and the babies have to get to the water, and the babies that aren't next to their mama get swooped up by a falcon, right? So like it's the same kind of thing. Like you need to stay with your child or they'll get swooped up by a falcon.
One more. I went to the museum over the holidays and I saw this kid and it's, the museum's pretty packed, and it was a museum of science and industry. And if you ever been there in Chicago, it's huge. And this kid's doing the I'm lost walk, kind of walking kind of quickly, looking left, looking right. And I catch him out of the corner of my eye and I'm just like, hey kid, are you looking for your parents? Kid. And he's trying to like get away from me, kind of scared of me. But I'm like, I don't see any other adults doing what I'm doing to the kid, which is trying to say, are you lost? So I'm like, if I let him, and he's moving kind of quick. So now I'm like, okay, this kid could be further and further and further from where he's supposed to be. So I'm like, kid, are you lost? I'm just trying to ask. So then I'm like, what's your like parents' name so we could call it out? And then I just start saying out loud, I'm like, hey, everybody, this kid, I think he's lost his parent, trying to like alert the area of like, oh, let me make sure that nobody's gonna, try to take this, like, hey, we're trying to do this right now. The parents were, man, how do I put this into like, I'm not good with feet, but like these parents were so fucking far away from this kid. I ended up like walking with the kid. He was still like not acknowledging me, but we were kind of like searching together almost. We had to go on the other side, and I went up, and he goes up to them when he sees them and starts hugging them. And I'm like, your kid was gone, like gone. And they're like, oh, really? And they're like, they have
they had no idea.
They have smiles on their face, kind of like, oh, you're back. And I'm just like, dude, this kid was no more than like 4 or 5 for sure. And he was gone in Chicago at a museum. I was like, dude.
You know what I find works really well for like that kind of situation is if you pull your van up and then offer candy.
Oh my God.
And that way he can't like you get him in that van.
You gotta lure them, right?
Yeah, you lure him into the van, and then that way he won't squirrel away from you. Shut the door of the van.
Dude, your kids will be taken, everybody, okay? So just err on the side of caution. Damn it. Have you not seen a movie or a TV show? Watch one episode of Law & Order or something. Fucking do something.
This program is powered by Megadad's Boost, our public support program. You can join at patreon.com/Megadads. For over 10 years, Megadads has been bringing you the best in podcasts, reviews, interviews, family fun, and so much more. As an independent media organization, we rely on audience members like you to help support what we do, to ensure that Megadads can continue to bring you the great content that you enjoy. If you've been watching, listening, or playing along through the years, please consider lending your support by becoming a member of Megadads Boost. Memberships start for as little as $1 a month, and you can start collecting your Boost rewards from day one. Rewards like art cards, early access podcasts, reviews, gameplay clips, and so much more. Please visit patreon.com/Megadads and become a member today. You can help us continue to make more of that Megadads coverage you've loved over the last 10 years well into the future by becoming a member of Megadads Boost.
Like a week ago, you and I were talking in the Discord of like, we're in a funk. We're in a gaming funk.
Yep.
We need a placeholder. We need something to play.
It's a slow time.
And I said, I think I'm going to take a chance on this game. And I'm so glad I did. It's called Cairn. Cairn is a survival game developed by The Game Bakers. It's an indie game about mountain climbing. And I was really interested in this game because last year I played Jusant off of your recommendation.
Yes.
And I really loved Jusant. I thought that was so fantastic. Couldn't put it down until the credits rolled. And I've played a lot of games that are about traversal and mountain climbing, like Death Stranding. A lot of that is about navigating the world and using your tools to get to where you want to go. Even Baby Steps is kind of got the same idea of trying to get somewhere with just your faculties, right? Like trying to surmount obstacles, the whole idea of just moving, right? No combat, nothing like that. And so Cairn interested me. I watched the trailer, and the thing that really made me nervous were the survival aspects. Now, I'm not a person that likes survival games. I don't like the idea of having to micromanage all of these different things while you're just trying to execute something. And Cairn absolutely has that, but I find that I'm really enjoying it. I feel like it enhances the experience, and I want to talk to you a little bit about that. So it is a survival game about mountain climbing. You do have to manage your hunger. You have to manage your thirst, your temperature, your health, And then there are other things that don't have meters, but they still factor into how you climb. So things like your grip, you make chalk for your hands, right? So like mountain climbing, you got to chalk up your hands so you get better grip on the rock. You have pittons, which are these little spikes.
I love pittons. Those are one of my favorite tools in climbing games.
So that you have these pittons that are spikes that drill into the rock wall that you hook your rope into. And those are in limited supply. So a piton can break. And when you drive your piton into the rock, you do a little timing mini game. So a little meter will bounce back and forth, and you have to hit the button in the center. Otherwise, you're going to twist your piton, and it'll break easier. And other things like the light and the dark and the weather. So there's dynamic weather, and there's real-time day-night cycles. So you're climbing this mountain while maintaining your hunger. So, the more you climb, the hungrier you get. You stress yourself out. You get tired. You make yourself to a base camp. And then you put up your camp, and that's where you kind of manage your survival aspects. So once you get to a safe, flat surface, there's a save point where you pitch your tent, and then you can cook with some of the supplies that you find along the mountain. So you might find like mushrooms. There are fresh springs where you can fill up your water. So you have to cook food for yourself. You compost your garbage in your backpack so you can make more chalk for your hands. You recycle your broken pittons to make more pittons. And then you also, along your way, besides just finding ingredients and things to cook with, you'll find the remnants of other climbers' camps that traveled before. So like you'll come across like a dead body, and you'll have a backpack, and you'll pillage his backpack, and you might find more pittons or more food, things like that. This mountain is very treacherous, very dangerous. So you're going to see a lot of story in the environment of people that came before. And you'll have to kind of take things from them to help keep your journey going. Each step matters. This is different from Jusant in the fact that Jusant you would have to find like, it was more like Uncharted or Assassin's Creed where you find your hand grips, right?
Yeah.
And you scale more like a artificial rock wall. You see where you can put your hands. In Cairn, you can put your hands and feet anywhere.
What?
So you push the square button, and the game will select the most appropriate limb automatically. So it might be your left arm, your left leg, or your right leg. Or you can manually select if you want to move a specific limb. But you can put your hand flat against the wall if there's no grip there. And then you have a limited time to get your other limbs in position to get good footing. And if you don't, if you're just trying to like Spider-Man up the wall, you're going to slip and you're going to fall. There are little cracks, there are nooks, there are visual things to see that will give you better stability, but you can put your hands and feet anywhere.
So there's like a level of freedom, but also kind of a good path.
Right. And there is no golden path. So much like in baby steps, you go your own way. You can zoom out at any time to see the mountain. You can kind of look around to see, okay, maybe I want to take this path because this route seems like it has more handholds, more grooves in the rock. But this way might be shorter with a more difficult ascent, right? So it gives you more freedom than in Jusant. And it also really plays the survival aspect of it. So I'll tell you right now, I was playing this really grueling section of the game. I talked about this in the Discord a few days ago, where I didn't think I'd be able to make it on this stretch of the mountain. I didn't have enough supplies. I didn't have enough, the path didn't have enough grip. I had like 2 pittons, barely any food. I was fucked. I was like, I think I'm going to have to knock this thing down to easy mode in order to proceed, because I just don't think I can do it. But because the mountain is so open and free exploration, I decided I'm going to take one more shot at this by going down. There's a whole area below me that I never explored. And so I put my piton in and I rappelled down to this new area. And when I went down to that new area, I found all sorts of supplies, all sorts of fresh water, all sorts of ways to enhance my survival resources.
Wow.
And then I went back to where I had been stuck, and I was able to clear it, no problem. And it took me like 2 or 3 days of exploration, like real time. I'd come home from work, do a little bit of exploring, a little bit more navigating the mountain. But I got back to that point that I was stuck at, where I was unsure if I'd even be able to proceed in the game. And because I took the time to actually explore this mountain like a real mountain climber would, I was able to proceed and beat that section of the game without knocking down to easy mode, without using any of the God code cheats. And I had such a sense of accomplishment. Like, I felt so good that I overcame the mountain the way that the game really wanted me to do it. There are ways to make this game easier. Shiro is also playing this in the Discord, and he's turned it down to easy. He's turned off the survival aspect, so you can turn off the hunger and the thirst and all that stuff. And then you can also allow yourself unlimited climbing gear, so your pittance can be infinite. So you can do this if the game is just absolutely whooping your ass, or if you don't like those survival aspects. But I'm grinding through the way the game wants me to, and it is hard. It is grueling. It is a challenge. It's definitely different than Jusant in the fact that, like, the mountain wants you to fall. Yeah. But the sense of accomplishment that I got overcoming that obstacle was so great and so rewarding. I imagine it's probably what Souls players feel like when they beat a big boss, right? You just analyze your situation, what you have at your resources, and you attack it. And I'm really enjoying my time with this game.
Is there one mountain and you go from the bottom all the way to the top and it's game over? Because there's a game called Peak that we've talked about, I believe, that is it's very difficult as well, but it's you get to the top of the mountain and then magically another like mountain kind of appears, and you do this I think like 4 or 5 times, and that's kind of like the major checkpoints is like these camps. So how is it for this game?
It is one mountain, and there's a story at play. You are a climber who's like a veteran climber. You're famous. You kind of get the sense that maybe you're towards the end of your career, and as the story unfolds, you have this sidekick with you. It's kind of got a little sci-fi element. It's a little robot that comes along with you and carries your pittance and stuff. And it also serves as like a communication device back home. So you'll get voicemails into your robot, and there'll be sections of the game where you'll listen to messages that people at home are sending to your character. And so you get the sense that this journey up this one mountain is really about her trying to get away from life back home, things that are frustrating, there's clearly some friction in her relationship at home. And the climb is like, it's like the mountain is her comfort.
Wow.
And so the story is unrolling as you go, in addition to the fact that you're exploring this one mountain, much like the way in Jusant was. You remember Jusant? It was like you were learning about the people that lived on the mountain a long time ago. There was a lot of environmental story. The mountain itself was telling you something. That's in play here as well. So there's a really good story in addition to the really compelling game mechanics. The art style is beautiful. It looks like a blend of hand-drawn animation with like watercolor painting. People that are watching the YouTube version of the show can see it is an absolute stunning game.
It's beautiful. It is beautiful.
I am just so impressed by these. I've never felt compelled to climb at all, a rock wall, a mountain, anything, right?
You've never been able to climb much of anything either.
But the medium of video games has given me an insight into what people find so compelling about this activity. Right. Jusant did it. Death Stranding did it. This game certainly does it. And I think that's really cool that games can allow a middle-aged, flabby white guy like me who has no muscle mass, the insight into what it is about conquering a mountain, like what that reward is. I really feel like I'm tuning into that playing Cairn, and it's so cool, man. It's definitely an experience that is a little bit different, but I'm finding a lot of connection with these games that don't prioritize combat or leveling up or beating a foe. It's more about achieving something internal, right? Like it's about overcoming something inside. This game is super, super cool. I'm playing it on PS5. And if people have any interest in this kind of game, Cairn does it really, really well.
It's a $30 game, and you can actually get it on sale right now, but it's bundled with Peak, which is that other climbing game that I mentioned.
Oh, is that right?
That the multiplayer climbing game. And you can get it for extremely cheap. Like right now, the bundle is $31.
That's
for
a steal.
The two of them. So you're just getting a lot of value if you do want to do that. But this is very interesting. I, for the last like 2 months, have not been able to figure out what type of mood I am in, because there are certain games where it's like, I want action, I want multiplayer, I want a solitary experience, I want, like there's so many genres out there and games that I think I'm trying to play to fit my exact mood. So I think I just have to jump into this and give it a try. I want to thank from the bottom of my heart Shiro from the community, because he had gifted me this for my birthday. So
oh, no kidding.
I just got this game into my library but have not booted it up yet, so I was not able to play before the episode, but I will be dipping in, and it seems like it's going to be a good experience.
Yeah, it is really awesome. I can't recommend it enough. I'm excited to hear how you feel once you get to that challenging part that I was at, because it really, the game is challenging, but it gives you a sense of, oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm cooking. I got this. And then you get to this section where it's just like, oh, everything you've learned right now, it's on. Like you have to put yourself to the test to get over this stretch of the mountain. So, but it's very rewarding. Try it with the survival stuff first.
Yeah.
But again, I love that games can be grueling difficult, but also will allow people to play it the way they want to play it. I think that's so important, especially for these really challenging games, is to let people have a shot. Like play it the way they want to play it so that they can get something out of it.
Cool.
And that sound right there is the Caboose, where we give you a recommendation of something outside the world of video games that we think you might enjoy. I've been watching the all-new Fear Factor.
No way. With Johnny Knoxville, House of Fear?
With Johnny Knoxville.
I've seen the ads.
Fear Factor, House of Fear. I liked Fear Factor in the 90s. I mean, who didn't, right? Like, watching people do dangerous, stupid shit, eating gross stuff. Good time. The new Fear Factor does the wonderful thing of jettisoning Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan has nothing to do with this production, which is fantastic. So Johnny Knoxville is the host. And it also kind of shakes up the formula a bit, whereas original Fear Factor, every week you'd have a rotating cast of contestants. The new Fear Factor is a week-to-week elimination thing, kind of like, The Bachelor, Survivor, The Amazing Race, whatever. And they all live in a house together, so you got that whole dynamic of people are making alliances and backstabbing and all that stuff. But again, they're doing really dangerous stuff and eating gross shit. The episode that we watched last, at the end of it, they had to crawl through these tubes that were filled with water and boa constrictors. And
what?
They had to do it with dead rats hanging out of their mouth. So they had to like pick up a dead rat by its tail.
Oh my God,
and carry it back and forth and
they
drop it in the goal.
They put dead rats in their mouth.
Dead rats in their mouth, and then
shut up.
These snakes, of course, which eat rats, are just like hissing and slithering around and wrapping themselves around the contestants. It's just
I'd freak out so fast.
You're watching this just like, what is wrong with these people? And the best part of it is like the grand prize that they're playing for is like $200,000, which that's a lot of money. I mean, but every other one of these shows, it's like you're playing for $1 million. And
yeah,
so,
like in this economy, it's like
you got to put this rat's ass in your mouth, and your prize at the end of it, if you make it through, is like a couple years' salary.
Okay. Real talk. How much to put a dead rat's ass in your mouth?
Well. And that's the difference. Like, I would put a dead rat's ass in my mouth if I was guaranteed money.
Yeah, for how much? How much would I have to offer
you? $10. What's up your caboose, Antonio?
I can taste a dead rat's ass like in my mouth somehow right now, just thinking about it.
Good stuff.
Okay, so mine is actually a video game recommendation ish. So it's tangential. There is I've had the opportunity now to go to these arcades like Dave and Buster's or Elston Electric lately around my birthday. It's something that I like to do. And there is a video game called Godzilla Kaiju Wars VR. And I'll try to send this footage to you, but long story short is there's this huge screen, and this screen is for the people that are just watching from the outside. So imagine you didn't see it, but there's like these double screens that are very high and vertical. So it's almost like two TVs together. So there's that. And in front of that is two chairs, and it looks like you're strapping in just like you would for any like car racing game. So there's like bucket seats, and on top of the seats, there's a VR headset. And it's there, and you're supposed to sit in the seat and put a VR headset on. Thankfully, when I've played this, they've had like masks that you put on your face that kind of protect you from the oils of everyone else's face.
Yeah, from the face herpes.
Yeah, so it actually has like a sock. You put like this little mask on for hygienics, and then you put on the VR headset. It's not the best fit because it's supposed to be like universal, but like I didn't figure out a way on how to like tighten it. Anyway, you put it on. The game is incredibly expensive. I believe it's got to be at least $10 or something like that. But there's two seats, so you sit down. You have a gun in front of you, like a 2-trigger, like almost like a little mini gun, like very small. I booted up this game. I went on it 3 times now. You boot up this game and you're thinking, okay, what could this be? Like, what's going on? It is one of the best gaming experiences I've ever had in my entire life.
No kidding.
If you see this game, Godzilla Kaiju Wars VR, in an arcade, play it. Play it, play it, play it. It is one of the best gaming experiences I ever had. The VR works surprisingly well. There's so much depth to what's happening. The seat moves, and you're in the perspective of almost like this it's not a helicopter because it moves so aggressively, but it's like you're on a ride at Disney World. Like you're in this
some sort of drop ship or something.
You're in some sort of drop ship, and you're fighting big monsters.
That's
huge
so cool.
Monsters. They look incredibly huge, and you're shooting like little parts of their body, and there's like the city is crumbling around you. You're shooting your gun, and it's like highlighting things to shoot. And there's a fan that's in front of you that's blowing harder at certain moments to simulate that, like if something's roaring at you, or if you're flying through the, like if the contraption you're in is moving quick, it'll like put more air in your face, and the seat is moving, and it's going, I don't know, I was trying to figure out how many like degrees of articulation it has, but you will move forward, so you feel like you're gonna slip down, like, so you feel like you're going up and
you're like
down.
strapped into this sucker, huh?
No, there's no seatbelt. I was like, I should have a seatbelt on. It moves more than you think it was gonna move. The graphics are incredible. Like, even though it was hard to get the sweet spot of the VR, it's super big and loud and bombastic. And I realized that toward the end of the play session, and they give you a decent amount of time playing, then all of a sudden Godzilla, I'm like, oh, is this ride over? And then I realized we haven't even seen Godzilla yet. And then he comes out, and he's 3 times bigger than anything you've seen so far. And it is awesome. I was laughing. I couldn't even catch my breath. I was just thinking the whole time how awesome this was. And I'm like shooting things, and it's like a Disney World ride in the arcade. You have to try it. It is absolutely fantastic. They let you play, I think there's like 8 stages or something, and I played the first stage 3 times because I couldn't figure out how to continue. But it was like it was so amazing. You must play this game. It changed my life. It changed my life. It was so good.
I'm gonna have to see if they got this at my local Dave and Buster's. That sounds
Oh,
rad.
you have to. It was at the Dave and Buster's that I just went to. Godzilla Kaiju Wars VR is it is the best VR experience I've ever had. It's one of the best rides I've been on. I consider it a ride almost. Like it was so good. I was very happy with it. Yeah, check it out.
Wow, glowing praise for the Kaiju
Glowing
Wars.
praise. Yes.
Well, I'm gonna rush right out and see if I can get my hands on a kaiju.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode or listening to this episode of Megadad's Live. However you get it, we're glad that you're here. Make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure that you like us. Make sure you join us in the Megadad's Discord. Of course, there's all sorts of great conversations happening on the Megadad's Discord. The link is in the show description. And come back next week for more fun, fully grown. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.